I try to not snack when I'm working.
Where did your skills for video editing come from, or like the passion for that?
I saved up for a good enough computer that's able to stream. So back then, everyone was becoming a streamer. So I tried that, and when you have an online presence, you have to have videos on demand. So that's when I learned how to edit. When we go out, when we eat outside, I try to shoot for food and tell a story.
Welcome, Boss Gabrielle, to 11 Minutes with My Lodi.
Hey,
It's really cool that we've been able to take a little bit of time and catch up. I know we've met in person. It was nearly this time last year now that we met, which is pretty crazy.
yeah,
It doesn't feel like a year ago, yeah?
yeah. I think it's around June.
Yeah, yeah, June. So the whole purpose of this, right, is to catch up with the Lodis in Virtual Spotter and to learn more about them individually, personally, which is also the same as individually, I guess. But but yeah, just to learn more about you and who you are, where your values lie, and yeah, I want to learn all about you, boss. Like I know we've had like some, like I talk to you every day.
Mhm.
I think like for sure every day we're back and forth.
Yeah.
So it's really cool to be able to have a bit of a sit down conversation and learn more about you as a person. So Gab, tell me tell me a little bit about yourself. Who are you? Where do you live at? I want to learn
Okay.
it all.
Okay. Well, you know me. I'm Gabriel Angelo Barcon. So, fun fact: my name is from the Bible. It's literally Angel Gabriel.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, that's fun.
Did you ever? And the only reason I'm asking this is because it happened to me, right? But in at least in Australia, like Courtney is predominantly a female name.
Mm.
Is Gabrielle? Is that a more feminine name or a more masculine
Here,
name?
well, here in the Philippines, it's more on the masculine side.
Yeah.
But we do have Gabriels, but that's with LE at the end.
Okay.
Yeah. So for the male Gabriels, it's just
Spelled
L.
different. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And for the females, it's with LE, additional
Yes.
LE at the end. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're named after Angel Gabriel from the Bible.
Yeah. Well, Philippines is a religious country, so
Yeah.
my parents is no exception to that. And I'm currently pushing 30.
Yeah.
Next year, I'll be 30. Hoping to get married by then. We're actually saving up. Um, and I live here in Quezon City in Fairview. I'm actually near Joms.
Okay.
Yeah. So before she transferred to a different house before her husband. Her husband is actually my friend. We grew
Really?
up. Yeah, we grew up together.
No
Um,
way.
yeah. I actually got to see their love story from the beginning.
Really? Were you mates with him before he was with Jamel?
Yeah, yeah,
Wow.
yeah. We were
That's cool.
friends back then. We go way way back.
Yeah, that's really, really cool. I like that a lot. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
actually, I learned about virtual spotter through him. Yeah, so
Yeah, right.
I met him. I was going to buy a coffee, and then I met him somewhere along the path, and I told him that I was looking for a job for our remote job.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he told me to like send my resume to Joms.
Yeah.
So I did. Yeah. So and then I joined Virtual Spotter.
That's so cool. And how long have you been with Virtual Spotter for now?
Um, I believe I joined around November of 2020. Was it 2021?
Yeah.
I think around that time, yeah.
Yeah. Wow. It's gone fast, hasn't it?
Yeah.
It's gone so fast. So tell me, what were you doing before Virtual Spotter?
So I was in the IT industry. So I've had three jobs. My first job was a customer representative. Um, Second one was in the banking industry, but in the IT department as well. And the third one was in the BPO. So it was a back office role where we've dealt with data and stuff like that,
Yeah.
reports. Yep.
And were all them roles were all on site?
The first two, yes. The last one was remote as well because it was during the pandemic. So I was looking for a remote job that time, and I was able to see it. I was only looking for remote opportunities back then. So
Yeah. I think since COVID for sure, but I imagine there was a small movement before that in the Philippines that, like the remote work is very valuable to a lot of people, but more so for you guys navigating traffic and
yes,
um,
boss.
yeah. So like tell me like what does working from home mean to you?
Well, it saves us. Well, personally, it saves me a lot of money, a lot of time, stress free working from home because the traffic here is so bad. Like for you to go to work, let's say for 20 kilometers, you'd have to allot maybe 2 hours, 3 hours,
Yeah,
and
wow.
that's not enough. So working from home, waking up, doing stretches in the morning, and then going to your workstation, that saves a lot of time.
Yeah.
Yeah, frees up your mind.
When you said stretching, is that you do that now? You wake up every day and stretch now, or that's what you used to do?
Now, boss.
Oh wow, tell me about that.
Yeah, well, it's not um a full stretch. It's just like when you
Okay.
wake up.
Yeah, I got you. I thought you meant like you were doing yoga or something like that.
Oh no, not that. But I'm going into that, boss. Back in the pandemic, I bought a yoga mat. I tried yoga, but I wasn't able to manage my time well. So
Yeah.
so yeah, it got swept under the rug.
Yeah. You need to get it back out and dust it off. I think we're gonna have. I'm gonna try to organize. So on our party this year, we're gonna have like hopefully, if we can figure it out, like a sunrise yoga session as a team on the beach.
Nice, yeah,
Yeah, that'd be cool.
yeah.
But I think it's incredibly like I've thought like a lot about movement more recently, and I think the ability to move or be mobile will dramatically increase our longevity. Like
Mm.
it's such the the ability to move is something that we take for granted so often.
Yeah, that's true, boss. I'm actually looking into standing desks.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've been saving a little of my money on the
I think you
side.
could make one too.
Hmm.
Pretty simply, but like ultimately the best one would be an electric one for sure.
Yeah. Also, I'm looking into like joining more marathons. Well, not marathons, just like 10Ks or
Yeah.
5Ks this year. Yeah.
Do you run much or have you run much?
When I was younger, I'm on the active side.
You're still 29, boss. That's young.
Yeah. No, I meant when I was like a teenager,
Of
boss.
course.
Yeah, we would play basketball every day for at least like 3 hours, 4 hours.
Really?
Yeah, and when I was much earlier, like around 10, 11, we would play under the sun in the 12 noon
Lunch?
sun. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so hot, but I miss being active. So
Is there anyone? There would still be kids. Or is there adults that still play basketball around near you that you could join, or not really?
No, boss. It's all the courts here were converted into like houses,
Really?
establishments. Yeah.
So where do you play at now? Where do the kids play?
I'm not sure about the kids, but right now we don't have. I don't have any like basketball activities.
Yeah.
Mhm.
When I drove, I think it was in Cebu when we went from Manila to Cebu, and then from the Cebu airport to where we were staying. We were driving through villages and little provinces and seeing the basketball courts, like just sort of like house, and then like a basketball
Like,
court
yeah,
in a paddock, or like in the a spare block.
yeah,
Like I'd never seen anything like that before. It was amazing.
yeah. The courts here are scattered everywhere.
Yeah, just kind of like wherever you can put one, they put a
Yeah,
basketball court.
in the tree in the back of the house,
Yeah.
anywhere you could hang a ring, there'd be basketball.
So tell us about your role. What do you do for Virtual Spotter?
So for virtual spotter, I handle the video editing for your podcast,
Yeah.
for the updates of virtual spotter, cloud tasker, fit forms, and any new developments for virtual spotter as a whole. Um, I see to it that it's according to like the standards. Um, well, we try to innovate our editing as well. Um, right now I have two editors under me. I think it's considered
Yes.
under me.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah, it is.
yeah, and I guide them. Um, we talk almost every day. I give them like feedback and suggestions, but ultimately it's their decision. I just guide them to the
Yeah.
to the right branding and stuff like that.
I think with video editing, it's a very creative process. It's like artwork. So even when I communicate tasks or visions to you, I don't want to sort of over communicate it too much, because I don't want to dampen your creativity. And I think when you have the freedom to be creative, then you deliver a better product. And then we can sort of like go back and forth, or like there's nothing that you could provide that I wouldn't like, but there might be some things that it's not the same message that I want to portray, right? So I think that's really important it's important in any leadership role, but even more so in creativity, because I don't want to dampen your creativity. If I don't like something, it's not because I don't like what you've just done. It's just like, that's not what I wanted for this thing. But you need to be really careful, because I don't want to I don't want to sort of communicate, say, hey, Gabe, I don't like this or I don't like that. And then all of a sudden you second guess everything that you try to build or create. Yeah. So we need to nurture creativity.
Yeah,
Try
boss.
to drown it.
Yeah. I'm learning that now as well when I'm giving feedback to the two editors. It's just like you said. How could I provide feedback without sort of having themselves having themselves second guess
Yeah.
their creative um mind. So well, that's kind of tough for me. Um, well, luckily I could chat to them in Tagalog, so I could express myself a little better.
When you write, when if you text them, that would be in your, is that in your dialect?
Yeah, boss.
Yeah,
Yeah,
always. So if you're talking to another Filipino, it's always in your dialect.
yeah, boss.
Yeah.
But when we have like, for example, we have group chats where you are included.
Yeah.
Of course, we have to speak
Yeah.
English, and
It's
it's no
actually
problem as well. Yeah,
it's actually incredible. It's incredible for you guys to be able to switch so quickly. Like
yeah,
have your own dialect in one group chat, talking in your native language, and then switch into the another group chat and talk in English. It's an incredible skill that you have.
yeah, boss. Well, growing up with English language all over the Philippines. I mean, when you were a child, you were taught at least two dialects, your native tongue and English. So um, you could adjust pretty well. Well, like in a snap, you could adjust pretty well.
Can you remember as a child, like, did you learn English at the same time you learnt your native language, or is it like,
Yeah, boss, I think so.
yeah,
Because when I remember when we were being taught how to write, um, you would we would spell colors like red, blue,
yeah,
or in Tagalog and in English. And we have in school we have a class for English as well. So that's
okay.
being taught, yeah, at the grade one level. So
Did you like school?
school, yeah, but not more so on studying, but maybe I like the experience of it.
What subjects? Was there any certain subjects that you liked more than others?
Well, I think math is one of the best subjects I have. Um, PE, there's always PE. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, we'll always have the freedom to run around or get sweaty in school. Um, Maybe a little bit of science, but not so much in the like the chemistry and stuff. Like just general knowledge.
Yeah. Where did your skills for video editing come from, or like the passion for that?
Yeah, but so for video editing, I was when I had the last remote job, I saved up for computer, a good enough computer that's able to stream. So back then, everyone was becoming a streamer, like playing games online and
Yeah.
streaming to everyone. So I tried that just for the experience of it. So and when you have an online presence, you have to have videos on demand. So that's when I learned how to edit, and I was like, oh, this is great. I could show off. I could tell stories in
Yeah.
video editing, and then I started um, creating my own videos. By that I mean shooting my own content. Like when we go out, um, when we eat outside, I try to shoot for
Yeah.
food and tell a story, create
Yeah.
reels. Yeah,
I noticed that too, right? Like I follow like you're putting up pictures on the way to the restaurant and then at the restaurant and like yeah, it's really cool.
yeah, but
Yeah, I think it's powerful. Like, I actually thought about this the other day because I've been starting to write more, like almost like blog style writing, and I think that each element has different. Like, say if you look at video versus photos versus written word, they all have different powerful parts. So it's like video, you get to visually perceive what it was. Sorry, in video, you get to feel like you were there. You're like, I feel like I'm a part of this because I can experience and like I can see Gab's reaction on his face and like you feel like you're there. With images or photos, you perceive what that feeling might have been or could have been. And then with the written word, you get to explain and guide people, and allow their imagination to really come out
yeah,
through the written word and being able to create emphasis or um, even so emphasis and like subtle, what's the right word? It's like stories, right? Like and just be able to create emotion behind written word. So I think it's really, really cool. Do you think that you're getting like the more time you edit, like you get better and better, or like is it like how do you feel like from say if you're an 8 now, how do you get to a 9? How do you improve?
um well, I think the output is always subjective. um um let's say I edit a video for you, and let's just say boss Zach doesn't like it that way. So the output is always subjective. Different
Yeah.
people have different tastes, and different clients have different outputs in mind. But personally, um, I can't really put like a level to my skills, because it's I'm always trying to innovate my workflow. Like for example now, boss. I've been trying this workflow. Um, Basically, before I've always like had a video at least one per day. I send it to you when I'm done. So right now I'm trying this. Well, I where I cut all up the possible reels, and then I finish the text, the story of that, and then I move on to the next, where it's all about where the part two is all about animation. So after that, then I export them and I send them all to you. So it's per per batch, I think. So I'm always trying to find ways where I could be more efficient. Are there ways if I could like get it to the client faster
Yeah.
and better?
Yeah. Have you played around with any AI tools?
For AI, boss, I've only tried like generating certain some images. Um, Only used Canva. But for video AI, I haven't explored much, but I've seen a lot of it in reels.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. Um, I just had a thought then, like, and maybe this doesn't work, but what do you think? What do you think is more difficult? Is it finding the hook, or is it editing that little, 30 to 60 seconds? Is like what's more difficult?
Because when you watch the whole video, you could basically tell where it if you heard a certain segment, you could tell what a hook can be.
Yeah.
The difficulty I find is how do I tell after this hook? How do I tell the story that um within still within context, and
Yeah.
the story flows, it's fast, it's concise. That's more difficult for me. So it's about building the story and staying in the story until the end.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, the other thing, so could I help in any way with that?
For the hooks, um you can, boss, but I think it will take up more
Too much
time
time.
on
Yeah.
your end.
Because I was just thinking, because I think a part of that, like if you can edit the reel and you can create like the other part of that is back on me or back on our other social media guys to create a really compelling caption to lead into that reel. So I think the caption can tell or the caption can bring context to the reel.
Real, yeah.
So yeah, if you're watching a 60-minute video and you're pulling 30 seconds out of it, the viewer's not going to be able to get any context of what you're talking about, right? So then that's why it's back on the caption to be able to create context for the reel to be able to perform. And like I said the other day, like I think for us where we're at now, like I just want to try to produce and create as much as we can, because I think that the more work we can do, the faster we're going to improve. And if you look at our social media or the videos that we're putting out or the content that I was sending over to you, even like it's gotten dramatically better purely from volume. It's just volume. Like as a team, we're just getting much better at understanding how everyone works, what everyone's good at, and we find a little flow. Even just the amount of content that the social media guys are putting out, which I still think we can do more, but like it's 1,000% more than what we are doing 3 or 4 months ago.
Yeah.
So it's really cool. It's really cool about how much we're capturing now and putting out. And I think it's all off the back of just like getting our hands dirty and just going through the motions. So I don't think we focus on trying to create the most viral like reel or like try to hack it. What I want is like being able to try to portray where we are and exactly what you said before, tell a story. Like I'd soon rather tell a story than try to get a million views on a reel. Like it's just about it's brand awareness over time, and it's just building. Does this build our brand? Yes, no, yes, let's go. No, let's leave it alone, because I think that is far more valuable, especially if you talk about our demo or target market. It's likely that if you go viral on a million views, like every single one of them might not be anything, like they might not be relevant to you at all. They might, it's some random reason why it went. So I don't think it's really that important at all. It's not the right metric. The metric for us is brand, and we measure ourselves on volume, not just volume, because we don't just want to put out noise, but it's volume with an essence of who we are as a brand. And I think that what makes Virtual Spotter so special is that we're a tight team, but also we all have big goals of improving and growing. So like if I can build a little team around Gab, or I can build a big team around Gab, that would make me happy. Like if we have 2 video editors, then we have 3, we got 4, we got 5, and then all of a sudden that's a thing. Like I want us to grow as a team, but still nurture our community. I think that's one of the things that really make Virtual Spotter so amazing.
Yeah, boss.
What are some of the challenges that you have working from home?
Working from home, you have to fight. You have to fight the laziness when it creeps up to you.
Yeah.
Um, there will be times that you're not up for the task, and you just want to lay down. What I do by the time it creeps up to me, I just stand up, I stretch, take a 30-minute break, maybe drink water, and then sit back down, continue the work.
Yeah.
And yeah, when you let it creep up to you, when you let the laziness creep up to you, and you keep it on, and you keep it happening and happening, and eventually you'll build the habit of laziness. So I'm trying
Yeah.
to block that out from my routine. Um, well, that's it for me. Resources wise, I do have the resources like internet, good
Yeah.
computer at least. It's just building the habit of, when it's work time,
Holding yourself
work,
accountable.
boss.
Yeah, self accountability, I think it's huge. And this is one of the things like because there's no one watching you really. Like, yeah. And if you're working in a team environment or in an office, there's people there watching you, and there's like a level of accountability that you all have against each other.
Yeah,
And then when you're at home, that accountability doesn't exist. So like the only person that is keeping you accountable, like we can keep you accountable virtually, but like deep down if you're doing what's required or not. And the high performers will thrive with that, and we notice it, right? And then the underperformers won't, and then they won't get the opportunities either. So yeah, I think self accountability is a superpower. One of the things that I would find challenging working from home is like snacking all day. Man, if I'm working from home, I'm in the cupboards constantly. It's like I'm having a coffee. Where's the biscuits at? What are we doing? Where's the biscuits? I'll be eating chocolate. Like when you talk about accountability, I can have accountability to continue to work, but my self accountability to stop eating them biscuits, that might be different.
yeah. Well, I try to I try to not snack when I'm working.
Yeah.
Yeah, it messes up my workspace. It gets crumbs everywhere, and then
Yeah,
I
yeah.
have to like clean it every once a week. Or
Would you consider yourself as a neat and tidy person, or like?
not really, boss, but it's more so the fact that if I eat when I work, when I'm staying at my workspace, then probably in the weekends I have to clean it up,
Yeah.
like tear it apart, good
Yeah.
cleaning. But when I don't, I can just dust it off on the top and maybe
Yeah.
clean it every like once a month or twice a month.
I think as well, when you, and I actually, like, I eat at my desk as well, like, because I feel like it can be efficient, but also I'm trying to stop that because I think that, when you eat sometimes and you could be working, or maybe you eat and you're watching a movie or you're watching TV, there's there's no effort or concentration towards the act of eating, and all of a sudden
Yeah.
you finish your meal and you're like, oh wow, like I didn't even know that was gone. Or like I think that there needs to be more ritual around food. And I know that like it's like so I think it's more powerful to stop working for 15 minutes, have your meal, enjoy your meal, like away from your desk,
Mhm.
maybe go outside in the sun, have your meal, no phone, think about the day, think about tomorrow, think about your family, your partner, think about your wedding, have that meal, enjoy it, and then go back to your workstation and then you're back at work. I think that's far more efficient because I think what can happen as well is when you start blending, your work environment with, hey, I'm going to have lunch here. I'm gonna set my alarm for 15 minutes and have a sleep in my chair, or I'm gonna take my phone call, do whatever, right, at my workstation. Then I think that creates a really negative pattern and routine in your life. It's a little bit like a uniform at school or a uniform at work. Like that's the same as my shirts. Like I like wearing virtual spotter or cloud tasker shirts because when I put these on, it makes me feel like I'm at work. Like it's work time now.
Mhm.
And I think that uniform is the same valuable logic around like your workstation. When I'm at this workstation, it is time to focus and it is time to put effort in towards my tasks. So like, I don't even think it's healthy to like, if it might be on a Saturday, you sit at your desk and watch Netflix. It's like, you need to try to distance that from that area, especially when you're at home, because I think that, you can blend them far too often. At least that's for me.
Yeah, boss. I totally agree. You have to acknowledge that when you are working, it's
Yeah.
just work.
Yeah.
And you have like to what do you call this? If you want to do something while you're working, you have to first disconnect from your workspace and then
Yeah.
do your stuff and then come back and then do the work again.
Yeah. Yeah. Correct. Yeah, I agree. Um, cool. So, siblings? Do you have any siblings?
Yeah, boss. I have three. One, I have an older brother. He's a police doctor. I have two younger siblings. They're both in college. They're both far from home. Um, yeah, well, actually, I'm the only one who's at home right now because my older brother got the assignment far from here as well. So basically, right now I'm the only child here.
Yeah, right. So, do you live there with your parents,
Yeah, boss.
both mum and dad?
Yes.
Do they still work?
Yes, boss.
What do they do?
My mother is working for the government here. He's an undersecretary for one of the congressmen here. Right now she's at the US, work related. My father is in the private security business. It's a private firm where I believe they provide like security detail for certain people.
For famous people, important
I'm
people.
not sure, but I think in the VIP status.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's cool. That's really, really cool. Um, awesome. So, as a child, your basketball, yeah, like school. Did you go through? What's the system like? Did you go through year like 12, or did you go to college or university? You
Um,
call it.
yeah, I did. I graduated with a bachelor degree in information technology.
Yep.
Well, actually, information technology wasn't my first choice as a college course. My first choice was photography, but well, it was denied because back then cameras were, well, until now cameras are still expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when you want to go into a photography course, of course you have to have a camera, and back then we didn't have the money, so landed in IT. Yeah.
Yeah, you couldn't do that. But you're still passionate about photography, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm saving up. I think probably next week or in the next 2 weeks, I could buy the camera. I'm still budgeting in my head.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe in the next payroll I could
Yeah.
buy. Yeah.
That'd be exciting.
Yeah, boss.
Do you talk to any, like, outside of your team or outside of the other video editors? Do you talk to anyone from Virtual Spotter that you've sort of met since working that you have a relationship with now?
Um, I was talking to Kim for when she's still editing videos. I
Yeah.
was talking to him outside of work.
Yeah.
Like uh I've been wanting to um when we talked in the party, he said that he was into cameras, photography as
Yeah.
well. So yeah, we chat about that. Even in WhatsApp, we chat back then. Right now we kind of drifted apart. Maybe I'll message him. Maybe I'll
Yeah.
message him
Yeah.
after this. Yeah,
Yeah, for sure. He's a good guy, and
yeah.
I think you have a very similar values. You both like video photography, and um, yeah, but both of it, like, these are both legends. So it makes sense that you interact and you talk to each other. Um, so your partner. So is there a date set for the wedding, boss, or is just you're just working towards that?
Yeah, we're working towards it. There's no specific month or date as of now, but it needs to be next year because my partner wants to be married before or during her 30s.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's cool. And does she work?
Yeah, boss. They have like a family hotel in Batangas. She manages it now. It's new. It's still new. It's relatively new. So she manages it um quite well, and it's only opened up for about maybe 3 months, 2 months.
Yeah, wow. Is that like a holiday destination, like where that motel?
No, not really, boss. It's
Is it?
more like a, you go to that place to relax kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, like a weekend kind of a thing.
Yeah, boss.
Yeah. Yeah, cool. So what else do you like to do outside, like, so on your weekend? Like, how would you typically spend a weekend?
Um, my weekend, well, like I've said, I've been trying to get back to the active
Yeah.
side of me. Yeah, so back then I used to ride my bike a lot. Um, like go 50, 60 kilometers.
Wow.
Yeah. Right now, um, I've been finding ways to prepare for the wedding. I've been searching. I've been dreaming about this camera for so long. I've been binge watching like camera settings, how to shoot. Like I've been studying it.
Very
So
cool.
when I do get it, I get to play around
You're
with it.
ready to go.
Yeah.
What one is it? What model?
It's a Sony FX30. It's a video centric bus. So my plans are Well, it's an expensive camera, but my plans are I could use it like professionally. Maybe shoot stuff
Yeah.
professionally. Yeah.
Wow. And what sort of lens would you get on it?
I'm thinking like an 1850 um f2.8. So basically, they say it's the 1850 on an APS-C sensor is like basically like a 30 millimeter, I
Yeah.
think. So they say that it's the most natural. It's the closest to the eye that we see.
Wow.
Yeah,
That'd be cool.
yeah, boss.
And what will you do mostly? Will it, you'll do videos or mostly photos? What's your vibe?
It's mostly videos, boss.
Yeah. Yeah.
Actually, I'm thinking of practicing until we get to the. I think we have a beach party this year, boss. Right. So I'm thinking
Yeah.
of using it there, maybe getting some B rolls of
That'd be unreal.
yeah.
Yeah, that'd be unreal. Well, if you please like let me know if you do have it. Do you reckon you'll definitely have it before then, or you're not sure?
Yeah, boss. I will have it before that.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be cool to get videos and and content of that night. Do you want to do that?
I could, boss, but um, let's see. As of now, I
You gotta
can't
get
be sure that I'll be
yeah.
doing it professionally. I'm still practicing, so
That's okay. Like I said before, we just have to start. We just have to
yeah,
start.
yeah. But I'll definitely shoot. I'll definitely shoot people there, and I'll get like candid shots or whatever. I'll
Yeah.
just
How far away do you live to where we're going?
mm, I think it's around 3 hours. When there's no traffic, that it's easily 3 hours. But when it's traffic, I'd say
Be
about
more.
five. Yeah,
Are you? You're definitely coming.
yeah, boss.
Yeah, cool. That'd be mad. Um, I was just thinking if I should try to bring my camera as well, but I might not have. Um, I don't know. Let's keep talking. I might bring mine, and you can shoot with both of them.
We could always use Kim, boss.
Kimfers.
Yeah, I no, I think Kim definitely held camera professionally before.
Yeah, cool.
Maybe we could shoot together.
Yeah,
Actually,
that'd be mad. I think that would be really really cool. So professionally again, like what are some of your goals for yourself?
for me, I wanted to start a business that reflects my personality. So I am a kind of an outgoing person. So I want my video business to be more outdoorsy, not in a studio
Yeah,
kind of way. So maybe weddings or shooting birthdays,
yeah.
small events, things like that.
Cool thing about weddings as well is they're typically on the weekend, and you can like I feel like you could charge more for a wedding shoot than a birthday shoot because it's more special to the person.
Yeah, boss.
It's like a cake. If you go get a cake made and it's for your birthday, it might be $100. If you get that same cake and it's for your wedding, it might be 250. You're like, what? It's the same cake, but it's like it's more special, right?
It's for a wedding.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Um, it's been wonderful to catch up with you and sort of learn more about you. Again, this is the whole thing was just exactly about this, right? Just a friendly conversation to learn about who you are and what you do. And I appreciate all your help and support that and the guidance that you give the guys in Virtual Spotter and the output that you give us. I'm extremely grateful to have you in our team and to have you in my life as well. So I appreciate you very much.
Thank you, boss. Thank you, boss. I also appreciate your guidance and your inputs, um, the opportunities that you give.
Yeah, my man. All good, brother. Well, you have a wonderful day, and we'll talk really soon. I appreciate you, Gab.
Yeah, boss.
Bye.
Thank you, boss. Bye. Bye bye.